Welcome to UROC Sucks, the weekly podcast where we review and critique the best and the worst fan-created original characters from the My Little Pony fandom. This show is unscripted and unfiltered, so moderate language will be used. As well, the critiques can be a little heavy sometimes, so if you're easily offended, don't watch. If not, feel free to join us for this week's show. This is episode 36 for November 7th, 2014. This week, other than being live, we are recording... we are recovering from our candy comas and we'll be looking at some other species. My name is Mummified Thunderbirds. I'm going to be your host and project manager this week. I am joined by...
Commander Sparkle, Assistant Project Manager.
I'm Eddie Boba. I'm in charge of gathering questions and viewer interaction.
And I'm Smooth Sailing, and I'm the editor.
And like I said, we're live this week. We have a little chat running down the side here. We're able to be able to deal with you guys and be able to present directly to you. This is just something fun we thought of, something that we can mix it up a little bit, have some fun, finish up the big giant long species block we've been working on for the last couple of months. And overall, I don't know, just have some fun and review some ponies like we always do. So why don't you guys come on with us, hang out, and we'll get this thing started. So, any news for you guys this week?
I mean, nothing in particular. No.
Cool.
Nope.
So, in the added bonus of us sitting here doing this episode live, we're actually also going to be handing out a prize at the end of it all. So stick around afterwards and we'll tell you what you win. You're going to want to stay all the way through into our post episode. So just stick around and you may win some free art. Ooh, goodies. Okay, so we can't really do fan art this week. I mean, to be able to pull up every little image would be a little weird. So we're going to save it for next week. If you sent us some fan art this week or last week or something along those lines, yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, just on the note of fan art, I think there's a couple things not added to the folder currently, but we currently in the folder we have 500 pieces of fan art exactly.
Nice, fantastic. I'm happy about that.
I don't know why you guys like us so much, honestly, but thank you, seriously.
It doesn't make any sense.
Mehdi, how
On
many
a
people...
scale of 1 confused, what?
Mehdi, how many people are in the chat right now?
46.
Fantastic. That's actually a really great turnout. I've been promoting the shit out of this all day.
I know, you sent me a text message saying promote.
Do it, you faggot.
And I didn't.
Anyway.
And I replied with, no you.
So, since that is this week, we will move into... Oh god, what am I doing? No, cancel that.
The stream is already falling apart.
Oh god, I'm sorry.
Welcome to how the show actually works. Dun dun dun.
Okay, so we're going to get into it. We're going to, by the roll of the die of fate, and since we are doing the whole live thing, I can show you the die of fate as well. So.
Oh shit.
Rolling. It rolled at 2. So that means we're going to go take a look at Mehdi. Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. You can talk. You can take a look at Maddie first.
No, we're going to look at Commander's good OC this week. So
apparently we learned that Mummified doesn't know what numbers are.
Oh fuck.
Apparently we learned that this thing falls apart right as soon as it begins.
Innumeracy is a very big problem in the United States.
Yeah. 8 out of 5 people don't know how to count.
I hate you all. Okay, yeah, so anyway, Commander, since you're number 2 and I rolled a 2, why don't you tell us all about your OC this week?
This is Red Feather by Fleetail, and I actually have... there's no backstory or anything on the picture, but if you look at the other thing I linked, it has backstory and story about this specific race. I'll go over the race first. They are pretty much a sort of Tundra type of pony that sort of based a bit on Inuit people and their social structure. And because of them being from like a much colder climate, they have those that like massive amounts of fur and stuff, and their hooves are also a bit wider to help support them on snow a little bit better. Like it's almost sort of like a Clydesdale as they explain it, and they have really thin eyelashes apparently, and they develop a layer of fat to help keep them warm because cold. And they're also weighed down a little bit because of them being a little bit bigger in some areas. So the Pegasi, they're a little bit slower and takes them a little bit more. So they instead sometimes use their wings for like as a shovel in a way to help them gather snow and stuff like that. So that's the oh yeah, and the unicorns, the red feather's not a unicorn, but the unicorns have a layer of fur to cover on their horns to keep them warm. So that's the race. Unfortunately, Fleetail doesn't currently have a name for this specific like species of pony, but yeah. Now for Red Feather, she was born in a small town in Denmark. I think that's how it's supposed to be pronounced.
I'll go with it.
And I don't get it.
Correspondence.
Along with her twin brother Dusty Feather. Unfortunately, their parents weren't very financially stable and didn't have a way to support them or give them a good home, so they were put into foster care and then later adopted by a family of unicorns, who apparently partially they wanted to try and lessen the racial divide in their town and prove that Pegasi aren't like the way that other residents thought. So apparently there's some racism going on in this pony town. But mostly Red's life was uneventful. There's a bit of bullying, and apparently because of the fact that she had these legs and that had all this hair and also fetlocks and other things like that, she was commonly mistaken for a colt when she was a filly and got a bunch of love letters from fillies early on, which caused her to sort of question her sexuality and things like that. And then aside from that, eventually she gained enough courage to ask her parents about her adoption and then tracked down her biological parents, and at first was angry at them, but then once they explained themselves, she was not a bit more words. She was much more okay with what they did because they did it for her and for her brother. So that's the story. Opinions so far?
Well, I do like the design and the overall color scheme on it. I do like the fact that all the colors in this character seem to be the same pastel, desaturated colors. And they, seem to work very well together. Even sometimes it's hard to put reds right next to blues, but this person does it in a well-designed way.
Yeah.
Maddie?
I really like you said, her design is fits the description of where she would be living. You said a tundra, colder area, so she has more fur.
Yeah.
On her hooves, and also I like the feather in her hair.
Yeah, I know, it's really cute.
It's a cute little addition. I don't know how I feel about. I like her cutie mark, but I also don't at the same time. It's crossing that boundary of it's just right, but I think it could be improved a little bit. Maybe don't have that one music note completely trying to escape towards her back.
Yeah, maybe move it a little bit, change it.
Yeah, just bring it down a little bit.
Positioning. Yeah.
Or remove it.
What?
Or just remove it.
Yeah, or depending on how, and I would sort of tweak with that, do some sketching to see how it looks different ways that you do it. That's what I did when I was designing my cutie mark, and it still looks awful, but that's beside the point. But my only problem currently, really with the cutie mark is that there's no real reason for it right now. I think it's a cool cutie mark, and I like the idea of a pony who loves collecting vinyl because I love vinyl, but I think that there should be some kind of story to explain why, because it doesn't really make sense by default for this kind of character being this from a tundra sort of area. Collecting vinyl isn't something that would seem like an innate talent or anything like that. So I would give a little bit of a story to that. Maybe she ended up opening a vinyl shop or something like that. flesh that out a bit. That's my only real complaint with the cutie mark, except for maybe that the red in the center of the vinyl is a little bit too saturated. Barely.
I agree with those points.
Yeah.
That's the thing, though. It's one of these things that it's a well thought out character. I like the idea of it being a sort of Tundra pony because it definitely it feels like a majority of the ponies that are in the fan created universes and whatnot. They all seem to be in a more temperate zone. They're either bright and sunny like Equestria, or I'm sorry, not Equestria, Ponyville, or Canterlot, or or a harsh desert like Appaloosa, or the last Roundup locations. But you never see that many harsh winter locations, except for maybe the Hearthwarming Eve episode. But then again, that's a Christmas episode anyway, so it kind of doesn't count.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a great area that they've placed it in.
Yeah, and they're currently still working on this species and developing it, but I think that they have a good direction they're going with it.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be interested to see a unicorn and how the whole fuzzy
super
horn
leg
thing.
warmers there.
I know, there's it looks so comfy. They're probably like,
But those actually seem very, very inconvenient, especially for temperate zones.
yeah, probably.
I can just imagine the snow just hugging towards her fur now. Like she's never gonna get. Like there's no way she's tracking through snow without leaving like a trail.
Yeah. That's one of those things that definitely, for people who live in the snow, I can understand. I could believe that this is like a really cool pony, and I'd love to see like just clumps of fur, or I'm sorry, not clumps of fur, clumps of snow, just like clinging to her, even when she like gets into the house or whatever, and just like tramping it off, and it kind of just falls off in little chunks, and just like snow, good times. Final words on this one, there, Commander.
I really like where you're going with this character. The only real advice I'd give is a little bit more backstory on the cutie mark, because that's one of the things that makes the character. I love the color choice, though. Overall, I think it's really well done.
Fantastic. Okay, so we are going to move on from Commander, thank you very much for that again, to me. I get to go on my next character. So
To your next character? You mean your first character?
You already had a character? Jeez, this episode's slipping by me.
I'm sorry. Anyway, so my character this week is Faye. The moon
pony!
The Merpony.
Moon ponies! Please
sorry.
make that thing.
I'm trying to remind myself of what was actually going on with Faye. Faye is, the marine biologist. She is a marine biologist, Merpony. She happens to have a passion for being a marine biologist, studying all the different species that are around. She even likes going from town to town to try to study their little ecosystems. Now, town to town being like little coral reef city things. I remember she wanted to move from her small town that she's in right now to a more larger city like Atlantis or something like that, kind of like the Merpony equivalent of Canterlot, which kind of gives us a frame of reference, because we don't necessarily know about the Merpony lifestyle because they never talk about it in the actual show, or even allude to the Merpony as an actual thing. What was that?
I was going to say, or even say that they exist.
Exactly. She enjoys being able to teach other littler or foal, I guess, merponies. I don't know what the young version of a merpony would be. I guess it'd still be a foal, but whatever. She barely ever actually comes to surface at the top of the water, except for when she needs to breathe, which is very rarely, and when she needs to sleep. So I can just imagine her just like flopped over a rock somewhere, just being like, and some ship would sail by and be like, "Arr, there be a Merpony out there somewhere." And it'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about, Captain. There's no such thing as merponies. I've seen one with my own eye, I'll tell you.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's just a hobo out there sitting on a rock.
That'd be
Yeah, it
no
definitely
hobo,
sounds
that'd
like a
be
hobo.
That'd be a
That
merp.
definitely sounds like a hobo.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's a brief rundown of her backstory. As for aesthetics behind this character, I really dig it just because of the fact that they're, it's well put out, especially in the size comparison in the ref sheet, where it's like, okay, if Faye was a regular pony, this would be about her size, and that's how they even allow us to. It's the same thing with giving context between the Atlantis, Canterlot, Merpony size, pony size, and how she fits in. Also, I like the fact that there's a dry mane.
Yes.
What do you guys think of this character?
I think it makes sense there's a dry mane because, sleeps on rock. Kind of thing. Like, if she were what people believe, like, mermaids and stuff like that, they usually, like, never actually go outside of the water, then it wouldn't really make sense to even have a dry mane thing there. Because it'd just be like, okay, yeah, she's always underwater, so what's the point? But this character is explained to actually go above water, like, often. Yeah. It makes sense.
I think that was well thought out and designed to put that in there.
Not only often, but also for long enough time to, have hair dry.
Yeah, because that could take a while, especially with hair like that whimsical.
Her hair's so gorgeous.
It's really cute. I love the color palette too. It's that sort of algae green. It fits really
seaweed.
Well. Whatever. Fuck off.
Also, somebody brought up in the chat just now, where's her cutie mark? Well, in this particular sense, I guess in this version of Sea Ponies, they don't actually have cutie marks, and that if she did have a cutie mark, there's a little tiny thing up in the little corner.
The downward corner.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
down in the
corner.
lower left corner of the ref sheet, there's a hypothetical.
Yeah. Which I think is a really cool design, because that shows that, like maybe they have the same sort of sense of finding that sort of special talent, but they just don't have something to identify by it, which I think would be interesting. It'd be a little bit harder to know what your special talent is, a little bit more like real life, honestly.
The Merpony struggle is real.
Oh, I also forgot to mention that this is actually by favorite of the show, Xenololly. The same person who brought in the teacup pony. Tea Time. Sorry, I knew that wasn't right, but I knew somebody would correct me on that. And a couple of other OCs that we've had on the show. So she's a great artist, and I really dig her kind of creepy, weird style. It definitely lends to their storytelling of it.
I'm so disappointed in you. How dare you say tea time wrong?
I'm sorry.
Exactly. How dare you insult the best fan?
You say that, but
are you implying that Xenololly isn't our best fan?
How do we measure bestness?
You're stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Quick, Commander, we have to science the mathematics until we can philosophy the logic.
Okay.
What?
Yes. I'm just going to say Xenololly.
I prefer rhetoric, but it's okay.
Xenololly original champion 2014.
No, but
yeah.
I really think this is a really well done character. I'm sort of interested by the eyes, and both by the fact that the eye white of the eyes, we know it is yellow, and I wonder if that's just a Merpony trait in general, and also by the sort of black lines around the eye.
Or, the fact that she's almost always underwater,
No, it's just jaundice.
That just sounds painful.
Well, yeah, but I mean, generally, species that live underwater have some kind of protective film that goes over their eyes.
I'm pretty sure that's for animals who are amphibious.
What if Faye is the beginning of an evolution?
Her species lives in the water!
Yeah, and lives mostly in the water.
I'm just wondering why if it's just a species thing, that's fine. I'm just wondering.
I don't know. But if you have a question, you being the fans, have a question for Xenololly, go out and ask her herself. Post comments in it.
Spam her page with EuroC sucks love.
Yes.
Buy. Sell.
Go.
Sell!
Actually, you should just go to her page and be like, "Oh, you're like the best." And
And then immediately visit Ardale.
No, stop it. We'll talk about him later. But yeah, so I'm really happy about this character. There's a lot of things that work well with it, and very few things that I actually don't like about it. In fact, I'm actually having a hard time just finding something that I don't particularly like about it. I'm a big kind of world building kind of guy, so if there is this like other new weird world to go with the character, I guess elaborate more on it. There were a couple people that were concerned about like, oh, well then is she able to swim real deep, whatever. And I guess that could also be something that you could expand upon her character a little bit. But other than that, I think it's pretty great OC. So well done, Xenololly. Let's move on to the next one. Just get rid of these real quick, and then roll the die again. It rolled a 3, so that means it's time for Maddie Bobo, guys.
Dude, I thought Medi already went.
but he already went.
I hate you.
Yeah, dude, I already went.
He was the first one to
I
go.
hate you.
I love how we immediately go to that joke. Immediately.
I hate just every one of you. Just nope. Sorry, we're
Quit the
shutting-
podcast.
We're
Fuck
shutting
it.
down. We're
Welcome to
going home,
EuroC
guys.
Sucks, the weekly
Bye.
podcast where we.
We're just gonna not do anything. See you later.
This is how the podcast
you stalling for
actually
time?
goes, guys.
No, I'm not.
This is how the
stalling for time.
podcast
I'm
ends.
literally tearing this place down board by board.
We're stalling for time,
Anyway.
implying there's a single board holding us up.
Anyway.
There is none. There are none.
Well, I don't know.
Well, fine. The only thing holding us together is the YouTube binding contract, and you know it.
And the contract is fake.
to talk about it.
Anyway, let's move on to the next one. So, Medi, tell us who you brought to the party this week.
Well, you see, you may have brought a pony named Faye. I brought a pony that is Faye. This is Lotus Blossom. And she's a little teeny tiny fairy pony.
She's fake.
How teeny tiny? She's about apple teeny size. If you remember that episode, the very memorable episode.
Yes. Yes, I do, yes.
Yes?
Okay, yeah. Apple teeny. God damn it. Lotus Blossom is a plant-based pony. She's like a living plant in a way, and she uses clerical magic, which is like the magic of healing and stuff. And she uses this magic on other ponies or other life forms because she wants to heal them. But sadly, it's like a double-edged sword, a very tragic power. The more she uses her ability to heal people, the more it takes her lifetime away. It's like her life. The more magic she uses, the less life she has. She's also like very dexterous, so she can use her magic to like run up the side of trees. But that also drains her life force, but not as much. But still drains it nonetheless. And we've had this pony for a long time.
Yeah, we have. And you've claimed her since like the second it was submitted to us. You're like, oh, it's a Fae! I want it! I'm like,
Mine! Dungeons and Dragons, mine! Now I can talk
That was
about how
7
much I
months
hate-
ago, by the way.
Now I can talk about how much I hate the fucking 4th edition.
Stop it. You were not interjecting that.
Anyways, sadly she doesn't have much of a backstory besides what I just explained right there. But I just love her design so much. Like, this is like an interesting species that I will admit I'm personally biased here because nerd. I like Fae things. Fae things are pretty cool.
You don't have to be a nerd to like Fae things. Get out of here.
Fucking
I like
Dungeons
Fae
and
things, and
Dragons.
I'm not a nerd. I mean, I'm not a nerd.
I am smooth sailing and I like the Fae. I'm not a nerd. Oh.
But is the second? Okay, no, you only have the first picture up. You don't show the picture of her.
I can't. I couldn't fit it on the screen. I'm sorry.
You couldn't fit it on the screen.
Well,
Okay,
both
this
yours.
is hashtag nut job. Get that shit out of here, mummified.
I'm sorry. I couldn't. Through prep for this episode, the level or the fact that it was such thin outlined sketch version of her, I couldn't put it in and still have it detailed enough so that people could see it. So I apologize I'm not able to bring both issues to it. But for the fans who are watching, if you are in the chat, I am pasting through to the actual link. Wait, hold on. Yes, I am pasting through to the actual link where there's a second image where she is getting a mock speed boop just to her nose.
And I
That
will
sounds
admit
incredibly painful
Yes, it
because
does.
a hoop is as big as
the
her
picture
entire
showed
body.
on screen seems to be like either a redesign or the old design. I can't remember which one it is.
Yeah, the one currently on screen is the old design.
Okay, and it doesn't look as good, but it still looks really cool. Like I like how she has like a leaf hat, and her ears are like they're different, but they aren't like outrageously different. They're just like really big because she's a fairy from the Fae. And in the redesign, they take away kind of those like cracks on her eyes and her top of her head that look veiny and stuff. But the thing I like the most about her is, in my opinion, where she gets her magic from, is her big glowing ball on her chest. Fucking really, like this is like, oh, I want to know more about this character, and I'm like, oh, there isn't much more about this character.
Isn't there a whole Tumblr about this character?
No, it links to the artist's Tumblr, where they've drawn some of this character, some of it not safe for work, but they've drawn some of this character.
So
they've drawn more of it.
For those of you out there who are underage, do make sure that you know that if you dig too deep into this person, you may find something that may not be age appropriate for you, so take caution. In the meantime, back to the little review thing.
So what do you guys think?
I don't know much about the style or culture or things in general about Faze, but from what you've described here, it seems like, again, a really nice, well-thought-out character who works off magical energy that gives her life, and she takes from it, so, okay, I guess, sure. I don't know. I really like it. It's kind of grown on me since
Fuck
we've
off.
had it.
Shut up.
I don't get it.
That joke really cuts deep.
I get that one even less.
Anyway, I don't know. I really like it. It's got nice colors. It's got a nice design. I think it's a good choice, Maddie. I can see why you like it.
I personally I definitely like what they did with the design in the second picture that motherfucker can't have on the screen.
I'm sorry. Links
Dirk.
will be in the description, by the way, to the DeviantArt folder where these.
Please look at this pony's other one, because I really love the way that they redesigned specifically the mane. It looks a little bit more like, has that pink Amina kind of look to it in the first picture that's on screen, and I feel that the one in the second picture matches the style of the tail a bit more. It's the sort of like rounder, poofier kind of thing. I also really love the little like swirl of like plant stuff, and then the leaves. Those are really cute. And I also do think that getting rid of the root kind of things makes it look a little bit better, just because it's kind of it gives it a little bit of a creepy vibe with them, which I think this pony's adorable. So I don't like creepy and adorable mixing. It's weird.
Are you talking about the little cracks?
Yeah, they're like roots, or meant to symbolize them, I think.
Smooth.
Yeah, I don't really have much to say other than what's been said, besides the fact that in the current one on screen, the only one you guys will be able to see, unfortunately, unless you have clicked the link that Mummified has pointed to like 2 or 3 times now, I'm not a fan of her coat against her actual mane colors.
Mm-hmm.
The mane just seems like incredibly odd in comparison, and the tail and the leaf, which I'm not sure why they match, but
Yeah.
going with it, I suppose. Biology. I'm not sure.
Don't question Fae logic.
Those two colors look like they go well together. The darker green just seems incompatible. It just doesn't work as well in my eye. Maybe that's just me, but...
I definitely get where you're coming from with that. I do prefer that lighter green. It is a bit weird that the mane and tail don't match each other. And I don't know whether it's just this picture or not, but I would personally say to not do that, but I like the color for the tail. Matches a lot better.
Cool. So, Betty, thank you for bringing us on. If you have any final words about this character, please share it with us.
I would love for this character to get more backstory, please. It's adorable, and I want to snuggle it. And it's just fucking more backstory. It's adorable. More Fae ponies, please. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, wait a minute. Moving on to Smooth.
Yeah, moving on to Smooth. And I know where this next part's going.
Now you see, Mummified's pony was named Fae, and Medi's pony was Fae. However, my pony created Fae. and like also everything else in Equestria. And no, I guess not the solar system. Technically, she didn't make the solar system. This is Fayette, also named kinda Fae. She is of the species of Gallopsy, which is obviously a play on galaxy, unless that's somehow wrong, and that could be a very, very convenient coincidence, but I highly doubt it's a coincidence.
It's actually a highly
obvious
scientific
reasons.
part of the galaxy.
I'm sorry, do you want to take that again? What?
Nope.
No, apparently not. Okay, we're rolling with it. Go on, Smooth.
What?
They both talked
they-
at the same time. And I couldn't understand either one of them.
Like anyone needs to listen to them. Anyway, this is Fayette. The species of Galaxy. For every single star that that controls a galaxy, for example, for Earth, it's the Earth's sun that controls this solar system. There is one Galaxy. Galaxies start out as just pure white little sparkly dust, pretty much, and once they create sentient life on one of their planets, pretty much just one, I don't believe they can make it on more than one, but once they do make it on that one planet that is going to get sentient life, they become more form of that sentient species. So she takes the form of the pony, or somewhat a form of a pony, because she is the galaxy for Equestria and that solar system. Also, galaxies take the color of the sentient planet as well, so that would mean that the most dominant color, or at least the most dominant color for the sentient species, is green, because green forests are more inhabitable than blue oceans for ponies. Or red lava.
Dude, I thought ponies lived and loved lava.
What?
Well, who says all sentient beings involved with galaxies are always pony-like?
No, I said this one specifically took pony shape because she is Equestria.
I was just being a jackass.
Most others take, non-equine form. Like one of this solar system we're in would take a human shape.
Yep.
Implying we're the dominant species.
Implying we're not.
I want to believe.
The solar system can live without her, but she cannot live without the solar system. So if Equestria's sun were to die, she would die as well. But if she were to die somehow magically, because she is pretty much a demigod, I believe is the correct term, she's not going anywhere anytime soon. Most galaxies just kind of like keep a small eye on the sentient planet. They're just like, oh, whatever, friggin'. But Fayette actually is somewhat more lively and kind of more Equestria toward Equestria. She likes it. She visits often, like once every few months or so, which is, often in comparison to Galaxies, which is super weird, but she has kind of a childlike fancy toward it, to where the first time she went to Equestria to look out, be like, hey, how's the species doing? She was found by a bunch of adults, and they're just like, ugh, pff, get out of here. And she was just like, oh, okay. But then a bunch of kids who came up to her, and they were like, oh, what's this? She's just like, oh, these are a lot more rational and not a bunch of jerks. Yeah. So she likes kids and adults are jerks. Also, she's only like a third of a meter tall, or a foot. Kind of thing. So she just pretty much really loves Equestria, and I guess is, of the Galaxies, probably the one that's the most happy with their role as a Galaxy. So I suppose that's all for giant thing of personality backstory. What do you guys have to say about personality backstory?
I think it's great. I mean, I kind of harped on the other the other ponies that we've looked at so far because they didn't really build their world that much. But I feel like this one literally built the world enough to be like, okay, here's this great big story behind it. Here's an enthralling world that's not necessarily on the level of like, here, read my fan fiction about my OC, but yet still concise enough that way it's still interesting, and it has very, it explains what it's doing very well.
Also, there's a lot more information, but I just cannot get through it without not having any time. I paraphrased what I could. Mm-hmm. I did a terrible job, and I'm sorry.
Read the description yourself, because there's a lot to say.
There's a lot. Yeah. But it's all really good. And well thought.
That is a lot.
Mm-hmm. But,
anything else?
I really like the just general design. I think it's cool how the mane and tail are sort of have this weird ethereal sense to it, but it almost looks like it looks weird in comparison to the rest of the pony or Galaxy, I guess. It just looks like it's like almost like a different material entirely, like this weird extra dimensional ethereal goop that is her mane and tail. It's really weird, but I like it. I think it's cool.
Part of the solar system.
Also, why does she have the like classical unicorn tail? Is my question. That's my only question. I guess that might be.
She is the classic unicorn. She is the original unicorn in her world.
She is the origin of Equestria.
I'm the Alpha and the Omega. But no, that actually made me think maybe that's what she originally created, and they've just turned into these new equines. It's possible.
Yeah, it is possible. Possibilities are possible. Apparently.
That is awesome, Smooth. Thank you very much for... Actually, do you have any final words on that one, actually?
She's incredibly cute. Her color palette works very well. Sorry, I apparently talked away in the entire time of being able to talk about it.
That is perfectly fine.
Well, I mean, Smooth, if there was anything wrong with this, so we probably would have interrupted you then.
Yeah, I've been like, she does what? Okay.
What now?
Like, really?
God? OP.
Okay.
Did you really...
So, well then.
And I really like her, and Galaxies are cool.
Fantastic. Well, guess what? This is the part where I actually get to transition between good OCs to
and my OC.
OCs. Oh, it feels so good. Finally. Oh, God. Fuck you, part 2. Hopefully. Watch me have to actually cut the episode in half, and I'll be like, oh, fuck me.
Yeah, haha.
Okay.
Editing this.
That would be
there's
funny.
no. We shouldn't edit this ever.
It would literally just have to be a cut right there.
Anyway.
Anywho.
Anyway, Going back in the same order we presented in with the good OCs, we're going to take a look at the bad OCs. So we're going to take a look at Commander's bad. Commander, tell us about your bad OC.
My bad OC for this week is Masquerade by Flare Kitsune. Their nickname is Mel, which I don't quite understand why they have that nickname. There might be some masquerade thing that I don't get, but it says they're a unicorn, but I'm taking this as a classical unicorn because that pretty much like that design is a classical unicorn, except for like doesn't have things around the hooves. It has the fur like sort of up under the arm and below the tail and the weird long tail. So that's what I'm taking this as. Their talent is making masks, and he sells the masks that he makes for a living. Most of them have that kind of creepy vibe, but some of them are apparently quite beautiful. His magic color is orange, and just to go over his backstory pretty quick, he was originally born in the Crystal Kingdom, but he wasn't able to keep up with being a crystal pony, so he moved to Manhattan to live with his grandfather. It was pretty like energetic, but he would mostly stay inside. He would like mess with like clay and paint, and make these masks and stuff, and some of them are a little bit weird. But then later in his life, when he became a quote-unquote pony teenager, his grandfather passed away, and he just sort of had this house, and he just kept making masks, and then turned it into a shop.
Because that's what you do.
Yeah, apparently. He didn't have his kitty market at the time, and he didn't really care. He's just like, I like making masks, so I'm going to just keep doing this. And so he had this shop now. And then one day, when he was making a gray mask, his eyes began to darken, and he apparently went blind. And at first he was scared that he wouldn't be able to continue making masks, but he just calmly allowed himself to just continue using his magic and making this mask. And he finished it and put it like from what he had it pictured in his head, and then just put it on, and I guess decided to just keep it on for a few months. And then one day in winter, some mayor came in for a custom mask, and he made the mask for her and gave it to her. And she told him that his cutie mark was really beautiful, and he was like, pretty much like, well, what? I don't have a cutie mark, but lo and behold, he did. He had a cutie mark in making masks. Who would have thought?
What cutie mark? That's funny.
I can't see my cutie mark. I'll never know what pleasure is.
What? Wait, I have a cutie mark? Yeah, haven't you seen it? Oh.
Hey, motherfucker, you might have got to take a picture.
But, that's funny. But yeah, so basically it was like, I'm going to keep doing this until the day I die. That's basically the backstory. Any thoughts on the character so far?
On the backstory?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I find it has an interesting concept, but I think most of my problem with my disagreements with this pony lie on purely aesthetic.
Oh, I was going to say that it was just all of a sudden, oh, hey, I'm blind now.
Yeah, that was one of the problems I personally had, because that's when people go blind, it's not very common for them to just be like, oh, I'm doing a thing, oh, I'm blind. It's sort of usually a gradual process where your vision decays over years and years and years until you just can't see. Unless you're born blind, but that's different.
Maybe you're born with it.
But oh, stop.
Okay.
Maybe it's my special brand.
Mm-hmm. So, were you segmenting your presentation into aesthetic and backstory and design, or what?
I mean, that's pretty much like literally. That's how I do like every OCs. I talk about the backstory, then I give you guys a chance to go on about things, and then I talk about things.
Okay, well,
like literally every OC.
Well then, why don't you talk about your other things then?
Okay, ignoring Mummified.
The ability to listen.
Yeah, my problem with Mummified's OC is his ability to listen. Anyways. For the aesthetics, since Mummified is making me just go straight into that, my problem is sort of one of the problems lies in the cutie mark. I think that it makes sense. It's masks. I'd say there's too much going on though. Maybe you could do as much with each of the masks if you only had the one, but even then, I think that's pushing it in terms of complexity. And I think that I would stick with the orange and red mask because, I mean, you're making his coat, or his, not coat, his magic color orange, so that makes sense. And having pure blacks and pure whites can work in Cutie Marks. That's one of the few places they can. But I think that the white and orange looks better for the rest of the character. Do you want to say stuff now?
Again, yeah, I agree with you. I mean, that second mask really, I think, puts it over the edge of being sort of
Edgy.
Exactly. So
Man, you two have been on the ball today. Just
I know, haven't they?
I know.
Yeah.
Great.
So anyway, yeah, and it's just one of those things that it's really. I don't always agree with gradient styles and legs, so I don't. With this, it's like, what are you doing? It's too stark of a contrast. You're going from almost pure white to almost black. I mean,
Yeah.
if you went from like, I don't know, well, Kikyo had her OC goes from like dark deep blue or like a lighter steel green, blue, aqua, whatever, into just a slightly darker version of it. But this one goes from all the way from black to all the way to white, which if you stayed in the same necessarily color, then sure, I think it would be okay. But
it's a bit over exaggerated. I can agree with that.
Medi?
I
Free
don't
talking
know. I know. I'm trying to think of like my points I made last. Like I don't really understand like why he needs the second mask in this Cutie Mark, the black and white one that just looks way too over detailed. I can give you the orange one, orange, white, and red. You can orange, white, red, and black. Oh god, I didn't realize that. Get rid of that black. That's gross. Get that out of there. But like maybe just make the orange mask like the center of attention because it kind of goes with your like you have a dark skin, you have a dark coat color. Now but you also have this bright red and orange and blacky colors all over your coat. So make the standouty mask your main mask. Don't put two masks in there for no reason.
Smooth, do you got anything you want to say before I go back to talking about the OC?
Yeah, not really.
Okay. For me, one thing that I just sort of noticed was, now, I know he turns into a blind pony, but do all of his masks not actually have eyes? Because, I mean, both the ones in his Cutie Mark, they have, like, a specific thing on the eyes, it looks like, and the one he made for himself just doesn't have things for their eyes, so, I mean, it'd be interesting. I can imagine it'd be really strange being a pony walking into the shop and he's just wearing this mask that doesn't have any openings. They're probably like, what? It's just sort of an interesting thing I felt like noting.
Yeah.
Also, I don't get what's up with the darker splotches on the back and the ear. They just sort of seem random and out of place. Kind of, in my opinion, detract. More so, I feel that the ear is a bit more off. I can kind of see the back, but still not a huge fan of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think, yeah, it's just a little. I think we're all in agreement with this one. It's a little bit too edgy. The colors seem to be too either saturated, bright, or too much of a contrast. So I think that's about it. I mean, final words there, Commander?
I mean, I think that your OC is not terrible or anything. I just think that it could use a little bit of work in the aesthetics department and a little bit of work on the backstory and stuff and how the character works. But there's definitely potential there for a really good OC.
Way cool. So then we will go on to... It's me, right? Yeah.
Of course it's you, Mummified.
Yeah,
Who
it
else
was
would it
me.
be?
Okay. I'm sorry, I can't... I get...
This is why we don't do live shows, Mummified.
This is why I get to punch you in the face.
Oh, shit.
I brought to the party this week...
I feel so threatened.
Chaos. What? Stop. See, that's why we don't have live episodes, because you'll mess me up.
Sorry,
I
you
brought
can't
to
get
the
shit
party
together.
chaos.
Yeah. Anyway, I brought in Chaos. by Kazi-chan 1. And my biggest gripe with this pony is the fact that, well, it's not really even supposed to be a pony. It's more of a pony form, more pony form Draconiquus. And it's... We kind of hashed out why this was a bad character, or bad aesthetic character in the last episode, but we'll get to that in a second. Let me start by reading off just a couple of little things that that the person made about this character. It says that he travels through worlds, alternate universes, parallel worlds, with the pendant around his neck. He never takes it off, and he defends it with his life. His right front hoof, as you can tell, is a pony. His left front is a lion paw. His left back is a zebra. His right back is a wolf paw and a dragon tail. And as well dragon horns and a Pegasus body. Similar characteristics and magic as Discord, however not related in any manner, as Chaos is from another world/universe. He enjoys causing organized chaos, organized by him. He does have an annoyingly good conscience and looks out for those he values. In other words, in other worlds, he is called a chimera. In MLP world, he would be a Draconiquus. Smooth, I remember last week you said something about the fact that it's like, yeah, but really chimeras are not something else, and there's this or something.
I think that was me.
That was you, Medi? Or I'm sorry, Commander.
Yeah, that was Medi.
Whatever. I was looking at Medi's
You
icon.
messed up so bad.
I was looking at Medi's icon. Get off my ass. Anyway, Commander. Yeah, you briefly mentioned that last week, right?
Yeah, I did.
First
I
attempt.
did because chimera and like mythology. I can't remember exactly what combination, but chimera is technically a specific combination. This is
I believe it's
Chimera.
lion, goat,
it's lion, snake.
lion, goat, snake. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty
Though
much that thing
also
from that episode.
chimeras technically are also considered things along the lines of just mixing things. Like,
yeah.
The art of mixing species, or I don't think it's the art. The art is the wrong word for it, but it's chimeraism
Practice.
or something like that. Something along those lines.
Yeah.
Well, either way, it is what it is, and that's what we have to look at right now. So, the main thing that we had a problem with on this character when we first were looking at this was the fact that, yeah, the colors in all the different parts are way too jarring from each other. If you go off and you take a look at a picture of Discord, you will find that it his colors are very muted or not muted or desaturated, but they are muted and saturated.
Tame.
They're tame to each other. Like here you have a very bright yellows next to very bright browns and hard whites next to blacks and a stark red tail and then brightly colored wings and this weird crazy eyeball thing that's going on in his head, and it's just so many colors in different styles packed into one little dude that it just ruins the whole effect. Yeah, so dial back your colors so that they're not so jarring, and then that way you're able to make a more cohesive character. Even though the concept and idea of either chimeras or Draconiquus are that they are somewhat hodgepodge thrown together, but like you're just disorganized chaos right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought this character was about organized chaos.
Exactly. What do you guys think?
Really briefly touching on that whole organized chaos and trying to differentiate them from Discord. Mm-hmm. By their definition of organized chaos, that's what Discord does, because he organizes his chaos the way he likes it, technically. Like, I know that they're trying to have this distinction. It doesn't really quite get across as well. I mean, I don't see really a good way to bring the character, because like we get this feeling of chaos from the character, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. And you don't have to like be like, oh yeah, my character's Discord, but it feels like you're just trying to be like, no, guys, I swear it's not. But then saying things that kind of make me think of Discord. It's a bit weird. Also, on the aesthetics and stuff, on the back or the right front hoof, I would change that from being a pony hoof, because since the rest of the body is a pony, it's very strange and looks even more jarring having a normal hoof on one of the hooves or legs, and then the rest of the legs are all different. I would change that.
Yeah, that fourth leg definitely stands out from the rest of it, because you're expecting, okay, different leg, different leg, different leg, same leg as the main body. It's just not going to work out. I would probably change it to a deer hoof, like that real thin, like cloven hoof kind of thing. I think that would work out very well with it. Medi?
Okay, I think this OC is just ugly. There's no pretty way of saying it, honestly. It's really badly done. And I know you were going for kind of a Discord thing, but you see, I brought this up before when we didn't do this episode before, obviously. This is the first time seeing these OCs. With Discord, he was chaotic and everything was like weird, but like it's just he had an organized chaos to him a bit. Like his colors didn't clash as much. Like the only thing that clashed on Discord was his wing, his little like really bright blue wing. But everything on this pony is just fucking gross. It's just like, stop. What are you doing? Your rainbow eyes don't belong. Your rainbow eye necklace also is gross. Also, pony eyes and that necklace eye are two completely different types of eyeballs. So where'd you get that eyeball? Your white hair is pure white. Your horns are... For a character who has mishmash everything, your horns are the same. Your wings, your gradient in the back of your back wing looks ugly. This reminds me of Thanksgiving, all of a sudden. Brown, yellow, orange, and red. And
yeah, I agree.
And the grading on your tail is just gross.
Yeah. Smooth, do you have any words about this pony?
Probably nothing that hasn't already been said. I mean, red of... I've said before that I find red to be a very difficult color to tell if it's oversaturated or not. The tail is oversaturated. I can say that flat out.
Definitely.
I think what helps, aside from the fact that it is obviously very saturated, one thing that really helps show that is that gradient that goes from a sort of not terribly saturated brown to this really saturated red. It has a really weird effect on my eyes.
It's weird because I'm actually looking at it in two separate spots. I have the one that's in the actual stream video window that has our textured background on the back made by me, and then I also have it in DeviantArt. And when I look at it in DeviantArt, it's not so bad. But when I look at the one in the stream, the tail shows really bad. Like, the way that the bright red contrasts with the dark purple in the back, and even the white fluff at the end of the tail, which I didn't notice until halfway through there was actually that little bit of white. So that's also a sign. So too bright, too saturated, too mishmash, too many things coming together to make one...
If you want to have an OC like this, and that's fine. You can have a character of anything you want. That's fine. But please, for the love of God, use Discord as a reference. I don't even really like Discord's character. I don't like Discord. But I can recognize a character who's been made good.
Properly made.
Just use him as a reference when you're making your OC.
He's done well.
Don't just...
I get what you're saying, Maddie.
Words are hard.
Yeah, so take all of this into advice. We're not saying that this is an irredeemable character. There's definitely stuff that you can do to help fix and tweak this character. Just remember, it's not always about jamming so much into a character. I know that's what the character tries to do, but try to think of it, make a character that's thrown all together, but try to make it as subtle as possible. You know what I mean? And maybe if you try doing it that way, you might get a better character. But in the meantime, we have to move on from this OC. Thank you, Mummified, for bringing it in. Well, you're quite welcome, Mummified.
Well, you're quite welcome, Mummified. Get off the stage, Mummified.
Smooth is new host.
And we're going to go with the next OC this week.
So, Medi, who did you bring in this week? For Bad OC.
Well, you see, Smooth,
No, yeah,
I
dude, that
brought
was
in this
Mummified.
week.
Come on, Medi, who are you, Mummified?
You see, Smooth, delay. I brought in Lilu. I think that's how it's pronounced. Lilu. What the fuck ever. They are an Incubus pony. It's an interesting type of pony. It's a demon pony. It seduces and sucks the love out of their dreams. It's a he. This is a he. This is a guy pony.
Okay.
It calls Incubus instead of Succubus. And they aren't really like bound by morals. They just kind of go around. Or originally they weren't really bound by morals. They just went around sucking the love out of dreams all the time. He was just like, that love and them dreams. But one day he was tricked into drinking this serum that caused him like instantly fucking, you're starving, done. You gotta get going. Go find some love immediately, or you're gonna die. But he was running away because he was being chased while he was starving, and then he's like, he ran into the Whitetail Woods. Is that actually a place in Equestria?
That is a place.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
And almost
only the
fainted
leads.
from starvation. Yeah. But he found this lovely mare named Flush Fanning, and she offered him some of her dream love. And he kind of jumped right on inside there, just nommed on some of her dream love, but not enough to hurt her, but just enough to feed him. And he was like, they kind of became friends after that. Like, he now hangs out in front of her tea shop and regularly pokes fun at others, and cause some minor mischief every now and then. He sneaks off every now and then, though, to eat some dreams.
Okay. Is that it?
Yeah, that's about it.
I think this is actually a really nice character. I think it's
this-
well made.
I really like this character a lot. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pulling a Smooth here this week. I brought this character as my bad OC, not because I really wanted to get both of these OCs out here this week, because they're both really good. I just think Lilu could improve just slightly more on the design-wise.
Commander.
Okay.
I find that this character would be something that you'd be interested in. How do you feel about this character?
Okay, just throw me under the bus immediately.
I'm just asking. I could be wrong. I've misjudged people before. What do you think?
Okay, well, I mean, I like the character overall. I mean, there's definitely a few tweaks that I would give. I think the main is not too bad. The colors don't work particularly well, like specifically the light and the dark, but in the main, it sort of clashes a bit, and it's a bit off-putting, but it's not terrible. It seems a little bit more like just an actual human hairstyle, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but that's just a thing that I'm sort of noting. I do really like the curls, though. Like, I like how in the mad one in the top left, it's like jagged and stuff, because it like sort of reacting with the way he's feeling. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's pretty good. Not terrible.
Smooth. being a changeling, Smooth, what do you think of the idea of a different species of pony out there feeding off the love of other ponies? Do you feel like that actually encroaches in your hive swarms territory,
Domain.
or do you feel like
as Smooth's lawyer, I'm Smooth. Smooth, you don't have to take this abuse from this man. Mummified, I would like you to step down. My client is going to be suing this OC for the infringement on his character's rights.
Well, do you find that maybe this might actually be create other
I'm sorry.
copycat OCs that
Smooth is not taking any more questions. Please stop bothering him.
Smooth.
Anyway.
One more, Smooth.
What I do have to say about this... I'm not an expert on demons, but I'm pretty sure an incubus isn't just the male version of a succubus.
Yeah, it's also an awesome rock band.
Shut up.
I'm pretty sure those are two very, very different things that are just incredibly closely related and are not actually very, very different. Like I just said they probably were. Point being... not 100% sure Incubus is exactly what you're looking for, though I myself do not know. Would have to do research, and we all know how deep we go into research. Not at all.
I actually just Googled it, and it like just really briefly. Hey,
Fresh off the news press here, people. We got
shut up!
Commander
Oh my God, shut up! I don't stop. Anyways, like basically from what I'm seeing, it does seem to be mostly just the male counterpart, because it says its female counterpart is the succubus, so it seems to be at least the main thing behind it. I'm not sure exactly the other inner workings, but that's the general idea, is that it's the male counterpart.
Yeah, I've never heard that in my life. Whatever.
You gotta love that stream delay there. Yeah, one of the people in the chat posted it right as you were saying it. So, in theory, they were on time with whatever. Anyway. So, Medi, did you talk about the colors of this character and why that was already?
Okay, I really like their coat color and their mane color. I think their main, like the main part of their main color, that works fine. And their main coat color, it works fine. I think it's the light greenish or grayish in that little gray streak in their hair, and then the little like triangle things on their hooves looks weird.
Yeah.
I actually agree with most of you, but I dislike more. I do not like how the green and the purple play alongside each other. They just seem to not work together in my eyes.
Well then, thank you for bringing that one on there, Medi. Final words on this one?
This OC is really cute. I really liked your cutie mark, especially maybe like, if anything, I would make it seem more like dream. Like maybe it may make it more of a dream bubble or a heart in a dream bubble, something kind of like that with the wings still there. That would work. I don't know. But yeah, this OC is really cute. I like it. He's adorable. Rolls eyes.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you for bringing that one on. We're going to move on to the next one. I am slightly stalling a little bit. There it is. Okay.
Which is also the last one.
Yes, which is also the last bad OC.
Which is Smooth's bad OC for this week.
So Smooth, tell us all about this OC.
This is black and white. I'm pulling a Smooth this week, guys, just
really?
like Medi did.
I love how Smooth uses it as a verb.
Speak.
She's a mix of a ghost and a pony. I'll get more into that later, but she's kind of playful, childish sort of things, but she also loves to be really creepy. She loves black and white. If it's not incredibly apparent as to why, I'm just like, you sure? Yeah, she incredibly loves black and white. She's kind of like a child, mixed with a ghost. Kind of that character archetype. She dislikes cute things, and she actually, oddly enough, hates the dark. Hates loneliness and hates bullies. Reason being, she actually spends most of her time alone because, well, she's a ghost. People aren't just like, oh, hey, you're a pony. That's all fine. No, they're like, you're a ghost. Get out of here. And one time, we're getting to the Cutie Mark story, by the way. Hold on to the tight of your seat. She was confronted by a pony who was all like, get out of this town, ghost. Threw a rock at her, and she was like, what did you say? Excuse me, what did you say to me? What did you say? She just kind of got closer and closer, and she was just like, what did you say to me? What did you just say? And he was, quickly, his confidence went from, yeah, get out of this. Yeah, his confidence fell very, very fast. Soon he was just like, and she just kind of like leaned into his ear and was just like, boo. And he ran off screaming. She was just like, ha, ha, what a pansy. Ha, ha, ha. Got Cutie Mark.
Black and white used mean look. Black and white used scare. It's super effective.
And other than that, her parents are just two ponies who had died when they were married and somehow had a child. And instead of that child just being full ghost, only half ghost and half pony, even though technically they were both 100% ghost and 100% pony, because ghost is not a species. So that's one of the main things I'm just like about, but everything else I actually really like. Her story seems really good to me. Or I'm not really into scary, but seems to hold. Yeah. What do you guys have to say about personality backstory?
Did we bring up the whole all Friday the 13th thing yet?
Yeah, she celebrates her birthdays on Friday the 13th, but not 100% sure how that works.
Yeah, so is she 16 Friday the 13th? That's fine. If she is, and that's how that works, it's fine. But it's a very inaccurate way of keeping track of time.
Yeah, she doesn't gotta give a shit. She got all the time in the world.
Yeah, she's dead, I guess.
Isn't it? Well, she's part pony, so does she?
I was like, yeah, she's like half dead, I guess.
Oh, that's really weird to think about.
I'm gonna stop thinking about this before my brain
How
hurts.
old are you, madam? I'm 16 Friday the 13th old. What the fuck does that mean? What the fuck is this? Fucking, you come into this, you come in my house with this shit? You come into my house, you start talking this shit? Talking this shit?
Anything else about personality backstory, or
can I move on to the aesthetics?
If you want to move on to the
free.
aesthetics, you can do that.
no? If you guys have anything else to say,
I think it's an okay backstory. I think the idea of her being a child, a ghost, that makes some sense, I guess, if you're just making a ghost half thing. I don't know. But it feels like it has enough backstory to give it enough detail. Or at least what you've summarized here for us. I don't know. It seems okay. Commander, what do you think?
I was just sort of going to say pretty much roughly the same thing. I think it's not perfect, but it's definitely on the way to being really well done. And like you mentioned, Smooth, the only thing I would maybe not necessarily tweak, but find a way of have it make more sense would be the whole being half pony, half ghost thing, because I think that's a totally cool trait for the character, but based off the explanation given, it doesn't at least make sense to me. If there's some world building thing on how pony ghost children works, then that'd be cool to know. But that's really, that, like you said, that's the only gripe I particularly have on the backstory and personality and other stuff.
Okay. Well, moving on to aesthetics. Oh my goodness, she's so cute. That gigantic hair mane, the freaking gigantic tail, and they work together. Oh my goodness. And the freaking black of the coat is, for the most part, really good. The only parts that aren't good are shading, because shading is a thing that happens sometimes, and that makes sense. I'm just like, it's good, except for the eyes kind of bug me a little bit, I guess. I don't know how ghosts' eyes work. And the legs seem like, the yin-yang thing on the hind legs kind of seems redundant with her cutie mark. But other than that, I really like her, if that wasn't apparent.
Oh, really? Wow.
I found it more to be a step parent, but whatever.
Sure.
Yeah,
No, I'm pretty sure they're all full parents.
Oh, okay, fantastic. Anyway, this is one of those
You're
characters
listening to her backstory. Gosh.
Got it. Anyway, this is one of those characters that I feel like is really great color design. Like, with that first Masquerade one, he put like a bunch of different colors together and in ways that made the black and the white jarring from each other. But in this case, it's like
The whole OC.
it's the whole OC is all black and white. So therefore, you're not having to deal with, it's like, okay, you're going from colors to black and white to other colors and here and there and all over the place. You're staying rooted in a nice black and white palette. So, I like it. I think it's a aesthetically pleasing OC. This OC isn't my cup of tea, but I can understand it and see why other people would like it, such as yourself.
Right.
Also because you spent 6 minutes explaining why you liked it. So, that could also be a factor. I don't know. It could be. Don't judge. It's just the way that the show works.
How could you dare like a pony like
Nettie,
this?
I swear to God, if you change your icon one more fucking time...
Oh, what's wrong?
I hate you so much.
What's wrong?
Anyway, Commander, or Medi, anything you guys want to say about this OC?
I was gonna say, you keep fucking throwing me under the bus, jeez. But really quickly, I think that overall the OC is pretty well designed. I don't quite get why there's the stripes on the front hooves. I think the whole thing on the back hooves makes some sense, because at least it's like a normal, for the most part, a normal kind of, it's a sock kind of design, and then they were able to incorporate that whole yin-yang kind of thing into it. But I don't really get the front hooves. Just doesn't make any sense to me.
That's a sock design, too.
I guess, but
Socks are designed like that all the time.
it just it seems
Get
a
out
bit
of here
weird.
with your weak argument.
It seems a bit weirder. I'm sorry. Cry more.
No, you.
I don't know. It also, I feel like, I don't know. It's a testament to the fact that the OC is pretty well designed. When I am sort of nitpicking. Oh, also, thing that I really like is that even in the pony form, the ends of her mane and tail have those wisps. Really cool.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. There, now they can see the little wisps. Because, unfortunately, my little camera thing was blocking the way. So, final words on this one there, Smooth?
I really like her. She, personality-wise, it's not a personality I enjoy, but it's made well enough to make sense and be logical somewhat. As said, only that one qualm with it, and everything else I'm just like, this is a really good pony.
Cool. Fantastic. Now, that is the end of it, right? Yeah, we did them all.
That's it, right, guys?
Yeah, we're done. So,
Whoa.
I'm going to link the DeviantArt Actually, hold on. Hold on.
Holding.
Wait, I can do this.
Oh no, can you?
I can. Yes. Okay. Aha! Okay, so I have on screen the items. So we have. Okay, so I did this sort of in order, I guess. I don't. Let me see if I can fix this real quick for you guys. I want to be able to do this, and I can do this. I know I can.
So
You're really like, at least get out what you're trying to do.
I'm going to reorganize in a way that.
that has been bad OCs for this week. Now let's move on to the voting.
I got it. Okay, so on screen you will be able to see the.
Mummified, if they can see it, you don't have to explain it.
Well, yes, I kind of do have to explain it because I'm going to explain why it's in this way. So we actually have our favorites folder on our DeviantArt account that has the full amount or all the OCs that we use this week, except for the Lotus Blossom, which is going to be in a Tumblr post up here just underneath the live episode 63 other. So just to run down who we brought on this week, let's start with the good OCs. I brought on Faye by Xenololly. Wait, hold on. Wait, refresh.
So,
There we go. Fantastic. There it is. Anyway, I brought on Faye. Commander brought on Red Feather. Medi brought on Lotus Blossom, the Faye. And then Smooth brought on Fayette, the Galaxy. Going back in the same order of voting for OCs and not being able to vote for the same OC you brought to the party, Commander, who do you vote for?
I definitely liked all the OCs this week, but I think I'm gonna have to give my vote to Faye.
Which Faye?
Faye.
You're the only one who didn't bring one, Commander.
What are you talking about, guys? Yeah, but I'm going to give it to Faye, the Merpony, because I really like the ideas put into the character and the species, and I thought it was really well done.
Mm-hmm. My favorite OC this week has probably got to be Fayette, the Galaxy, just because the idea and concept of like a pony sitting there making like, or not really a pony, but a entity making like an entire galaxy or entire species around it. It's very deity and godlike, but the idea that they're connected to it and they only live with if they live, but they can't live without them kind of thing. It's just really fun, and I really like that idea.
I'm going to give my vote to Fayette.
Okay.
She's adorable, and I can't vote for Lotus Blossom.
And then Smooth?
I vote for Faye.
Cool.
Oh,
wow.
shit. First ever in a lifetime.
Hey, turn off your video.
Oh, yeah, Mummified, turn off your video.
All right. Okay.
Are you guys ready for this? This is the first ever live EuroC Sucks boxing!
I gotta
Except
turn it
for
back on just for that. Just. Oh, God, that's so dumb. Anyway. So, are you ready, Smooth? Or are you ready, Medi?
No,
Sorry,
it's-
dang it, Medi, you're messing
my-
me up.
Wow.
How did Medi mess you up there?
Because he was just sitting there doing his whole thing. So anyway, Smooth. We're going to rock, paper, scissors with no camera, and we only use the integrity of each other. So, ready, Smooth?
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, shoot. I got rock.
I got paper, dick!
Fuck.
What?
Suck it! Suck it!
Smooth breaking the stream with not choosing scissors out of the gate.
All right. Congratulations. I am so happy for you. preface this, I won Good OC before, so
You
Preface
suck.
this, that episode doesn't exist anymore.
that episode doesn't exist, so it still stands that
Yeah, we'll never know because we don't have your audio.
anyway.
Yeah, where's the evidence, Mummified?
Damn it, you three had the evidence, so you wouldn't bring it to... Anyway, moving on. Bad OCs. This week, I brought Chaos to the party. Commander brought in Masquerade. Medi brought in Lilu. And Smooth brought in Black and White. So once again, going in the same order that we presented it and not voting for the same OC you brought to the party. Who do you vote for?
Who are you talking to?
Oh my god, Commander, just fucking go.
I honestly, I like, at least to a decent extent, Lilu and Black and White. So I'm going to have to give it to Chaos because, I mean, there's just a lot of work that needs to be done, in my opinion.
Cool. I didn't hate Lilu or Black and White just because Medi decided to pull a Smooth and Smooth pulled a Smooth. So therefore, I am stuck with Masquerade to have to vote for. So I give my vote to Masquerade. Medi?
I hated Chaos.
Cool.
That's about it.
Smooth.
It seems a bit rigged in comparison this week. Aesthetically, I didn't like Chaos or Commander. What was the name of yours again?
Masquerade.
Masquerade.
I
Thank
literally
you.
just said it. Gosh,
I'm
didn't you remember
sorry.
things?
Sorry.
Shut up.
You guys give me shit all the time.
Shut up.
Anyway, I didn't aesthetically like either of them, but Chaos obviously was a bit more out there with it, but also didn't seem to have a good backstory to cover, whereas Masquerade only had one really big flaw kind of thing. So I will give mine as well to Chaos.
Fantastic. I am so happy that I won this week. I won.
Oh my god, fucking kill yourself. Also, you should have just given it to me so I could beat Mummified with rock, paper, scissors and fucking destroy him.
Nope. Sorry. I won. I won Bad OC and Smooth
Nah,
won Good OC.
I'm too jittery from winning for once.
I know.
Is this really
Good
the
job,
first time you've
Smooth.
ever won?
Yeah, this is the first time I've ever won rock, paper, scissors.
And
Oh yeah, rock,
we
paper,
did
scissors.
it.
Yeah.
We did it live.
And you did it
You were all
on the
here.
first ever live episode of Your OC Sucks.
Fantastic. Anyway,
I'm just
So-
getting so emotional.
Medi,
I'd like to thank the Academy.
I hope
Mummified for sucking.
you were paying attention to the chat there, Medi, because guess what? Since we are live this week, we get to see what kind of questions they have. So, did you happen to see any questions out there?
I saw a lot of things out there. A lot of them being hashtag nutjob. Let's just remind everyone, nutjob.
Yes, of course.
Be sure to tweet nutjob at Lethal Aurora Mage. Anyways, there weren't really all that many questions actually in the chat today because we didn't really announce it like you said we were going to.
I said announce. Did I? Or did I?
No,
only
you
do
didn't.
that- I only did. Did I really only do it pre-stream?
Yeah.
Oh fuck. Oh well. Guess what we have though? We do have some.
Just ask them right now.
No, I do not support a bowl of paper dicks.
We do have a couple of questions lined up from previous times. So the first one that we have, Medi, why don't you tell us about it? The one by Missed Me Forever.
I'll have to wait for it to appear on my stream.
Okay, well then let me tell you. It is out of you guys. What had seen the weirdest thing in your life? Quote, literally what they put out. I assume they mean, what is the weirdest thing we've ever seen? And my weirdest thing is that when I was a kid, I was in the scouting program, Boy Scouts, and I used to live in the Midwest. And anybody who's in like the northern Midwest area, around like Wisconsin or Minnesota or Michigan kind of area, you'd understand that you may have seen sort of the man-made forest where they just plant a crap ton of trees over like an entire mountain or whatever, and they're all in like their perfect lines, and they all like form these perfect rows and just paths down through the middle of this forest, and it can be really, really spooky at times. And I feel that I always was worried about like looking or peering off into like the like man-made forest at night whenever like we happen to go out camping or something, and seeing something pass between these two things. And actually, one night, I swear to God, I saw something come out from behind a tree, walk by, and then pass by another one. Or pass by another tree and not come out the other side. So he literally, this thing or whatever, I swear, it came out from a tree and didn't like come out before it, or didn't pass through the tree. No, it just appeared out of the side of this tree and then disappeared behind another one. Now, and these trees weren't like big, thick, like red oaks or something like that you could necessarily hide behind. No, we're talking about like maybe a foot thick, maybe half a foot thick, like birch trees that you couldn't hide behind. You'd have like your shoulders popping out, or your head sticking forward, or maybe your gut poking out of one side, but there's no way you're going to hide a whole body behind one of these trees. So, I don't know what it was. It could have been somebody just going back to a car or something. I don't know. But it's one of these things where I don't know what it was, but it just freaked the hell out of me. Commander?
Okay. For me, I remember it took me a bit to initially figure this out, but for my sort of like weirdest thing that's happened to me that I can at least remember or recall, it would have to be the time that I was hanging out with one of my friends back home, and we were just we were sitting in the car in this park, and he decided to just be like a jackass for whatever reason. Like was like saying how he's like saw an alien in the trees, and I was just like, yeah, whatever, shut up. Let's continue listening to music and stuff like that. And I actually have of this part, I have it on recording for a voice memo, but I unfortunately turned off. We turned off the voice memo, but then later we just sort of in the distance, like the park had like. It was not a big park. It was just like a small one, like a local one, and it had like this curved road that went to the other side. And we saw a car there at one point in time. And then after a while, we're sitting there. It's totally dark out, and you just see these really weird lights. And these lights do not resemble like any kind of vehicle I can think of. And it started like pulsating, like a lot, and it was just one of the weirdest things ever. And right after my friend made all these jokes about like an alien, I honestly got to the point that I was convinced that there was like an alien like spaceship. Like I don't know what it was, and I will never know what it was, but holy fucking god, it made me fucking believe that shit. And I am not the kind of person to do stuff like that.
Cool. Mehdi?
I don't really exactly have a very scary or spooky like you two had, like with these disappearing bodies and these aliens. What I witnessed was while I was eating at a mom and pop's hot dog stand, I was having a cup of fries. If people know what a cup, it's just a cup filled with French fries. It's really good. This is nice. I like it a lot. I turned because I hear this woman yelling. And have you ever seen a woman throw a guy out of a house? Like you see in the movies? Yeah, this shit happens in real life. And it's just as great to watch. It is so fucking... It's interesting to see her. She was just chucking boxes at his head. She was angry. Screaming, "You new dirty scumbag, lying son of a bitch," throwing shit at his face. It was amazing. I heard glass break a lot.
Well, that's not necessarily spooky, but that is definitely something weird. You're like, oh, look at that. Anyway, and then Smooth?
I looked in the mirror earlier today and was like, ha ha ha, aww.
Oh, I made myself sad again.
Yeah, I can't remember enough of my life to think of anything weird.
But isn't
because
that
Smooth
weird?
has
Part of
poor
all.
memory. But that's not a weird thing I can remember because it is the lack of memory.
But it's still weird. Weird.
Now entered the Twilight Zone.
So now do we go to voting then?
No, actually, we during this time we did get a couple of questions in.
Or
Yes,
we
we
should
did.
do voting on that because that's what we did last time.
Oh, right. So since we all had a little voting thing, we're going to vote on. Hey, well, I mean, why not? Who had the best story? I think from what the weirdest thing probably would probably be the fact that Smooth can't remember the rest of his life. No, I'm kidding. It actually probably is the fact that Commander apparently saw an alien or some shit like that.
Spaceship.
Spaceship, alien, whatever. Same thing. Commander?
I mean, in terms of weird things, I'd probably go with what you said because, I mean, that's the kind of shit that, like, freaks you the fuck out, like, really hard.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with Commander Story.
Yeah.
Because Mummified, I hate the Boy Scouts.
Why the Boy Scouts? What's wrong? Maddie?
Smooth?
Why?
Igualmente.
And, wait, what?
That means I'm the same. Igualmente is the same by me.
Mummified, aren't you the guy who calls Majora's Mask Majora's Mask?
Well, yes.
But
But I don't know why equals would be a thing that you would say, but
Igualmente means same here.
Whatever. Anyway, fantastic.
God.
So Commander wins that one. We have been getting a couple of questions in the actual chat.
Yes, we have, actually.
I believe Moonlight Sonata has a question for us.
A question for you.
Maddie, are you going to...
All right, excuse me, apparently you wanted to interrupt me so you could read it as fast as fucking possible.
Yeah, Medi's about to do it. Anyway, Medi.
Moonlight Sonata asks, Mummified, if I asked you to pet your mustache, would you A, say no, B, walk away, C, lock me right into an institution, or D, let me pet it?
Well, everybody I ever meet who hasn't seen my mustache or wants to check to see if it actually is real, which, by the way, it is real. It is a real mustache, and you can see it. If you ever actually, like, meet me in person, you get one free touch. You get to pull it, twirl it, do whatever.
I'm going to take advantage
Twirl
of
it, twirl it, mash it in a stew.
Yes, just like potatoes. But that's, yeah, I mean, everybody gets one free touch. I mean, ladies, guys, non-binary, gender-identifying individuals, sure, whatever. I don't care.
Mummified is
My mustache is an equal opportunity.
For all.
Okay, we received a couple more questions as well.
Cool.
Okay, I don't remember. I'm sorry I didn't catch your name when you asked this question, but if you guys could change one part of you, be it physical or mental, what would it be?
I wish I had telekinetic power. Like, able to lift crap. That'd be pretty cool. I'd like that. That's something I would want to change.
Oh. Well, I'm going for a more, like, realistic thing. I would, like, make my bones, like, not suck. Like, my knees, which are absolutely awful, or my back, or my neck, which my spine is all fucked up at times. I would fix that, because it fucking sucks.
I'll make your back hurt there, Commander.
Oh my god, stay away.
Medi?
Yeah. I would get swole as fuck. Fucking ripped beyond belief. Fucking scary swole.
Stop.
Smooth?
And I would change the fact that I exist.
Oh, that's sad.
Smooth.
Moving on to the next question.
No, you can't leave that at that. It's not.
If you leave it at that, you're a dick. But anyway, next question.
No, my actual answer would be that I would rather be incredibly flexible. I mean, I'm already probably the most flexible of us here, but I want to be more flexible. That'd be awesome.
Yep. Yes, you are.
Put that into mine.
I'm going to stop taking questions
get
for
out.
now because we got 3 more left.
I can't
Okay.
touch my toes.
Okay, this was another one. I didn't catch your name when you asked it, but how popular did you expect to ever get?
Me? this may seem like a dick answer, but I think we haven't gotten to where I think we would have gotten quite yet. Cause
Get out.
I'm thinking like we're gonna get to like 5, 6, God, maybe somewhere around 7,000, 10 at max, and then we're just not gonna.
Maybe
That's
like
how big we're gonna get.
maybe
That's
like
how big
5,
I think we're gonna
6,
get.
7,
Mummified, are you mad?
10.
We might get to 10.
25, maybe.
Maybe like just
If
like
we just
100,
reach, if we're
maybe.
just a couple billion subscribers in, then we finally reach the goal I expected.
I think from day one, I think this can be a 10,000 subscriber podcast. That's just
Commander.
me being real. I'm not trying to be big-headed about it. I'm not trying to be, oh yeah, because we're fucking cool, right? No, because I believe we have the talent and the skills and the tools to be able to make this a podcast that everybody will love, everybody will enjoy. And through this process of even this last year, I think we've done a lot of things where we've tweaked how our show works, how we interact with each other, how we approach OCs, that really have allowed more people to come in and see what we do and definitely enjoy our show. Because it's not necessarily all about how many people come to the show, but it's how many people enjoy the show and how many people we can touch and better. Not necessarily that they need betterment, but that they can feel
And not
good
necessarily
by our
touch.
show. I think we're a 10,000 subscriber show. We're just not there yet. But Commander,
For me, I was surprised we got past 50. I am literally, like I mentioned this earlier when I mentioned the whole 500 pieces of fan art thing. Like, I am astounded every day that this show has actually gotten anywhere, and like the fact that we are doing a live episode and then having like sustaining an audience of like 40 or so people pretty much for like this entire time. I am astounded and blown away that people actually like us enough to do that. I mean, I hope that we keep going for at least a while because I really enjoy this and I think it's a really fun thing. But I didn't expect it to go terribly far.
Smooth,
You mean Medi?
Medi,
Oh my god, can you get shorter right?
Medi.
I don't know exactly. Depending on like when I decided how far we would get, like from the very beginning, I thought we might, 100 subscribers. After the whole unnamed person incident on Tumblr, I was assured that the show was done, and I didn't want it really to be a part of it anymore. But apparently we kind of just fucking prevailed because we're better than most people. Because we're the best.
Oh.
Stop.
Let's
Stop.
let's not use those words, Medi.
Stop.
Let's,
Huh?
I
What?
know
Sorry,
that we
Mummified. We are the best in the world at what we do. We are unmatched.
we are unmatched. Well, wait. What was that one show? The robot in the hat.
Stop.
The thing that said us.
Medi is Chris Jericho. Moving on. Smooth?
No, friggin' no. Wasn't expecting us to get incredibly big out of 10. That's all I can really say, I guess.
As you said that, Mollify did quotation marks as soon as you said incredibly big.
for the delay on the stream.
Yeah.
Great. Happy about that. Medi, let's...
We got like 3 more questions left.
3 more? Okay.
This question has been sent to us a couple times, and it was resent to us. Then there it is again. Nevatasaruma. How the fuck do you say your name? Neva. I'm just gonna say Neva.
Neva.
Do you guys play any computer games?
No. No.
Let me open Steam real quick for you.
We all have Steam,
We
so
all have
yes.
Steam.
Yeah, we all have Steam accounts.
It
They're
is,
mainly.
it is varying degrees of... How much do you want to see my Steam game list?
So yeah, we play a lot of computer games. I believe all of our Steam accounts are usernames, right?
Something like that.
But yeah, I think they are.
Well, that's
Except
not-
for mine. Mine's not.
How many real quick, how many games do people have?
I
I have
think
like
around
87.
I have around 60 or so.
But I buy people games mummified. I don't buy games for myself.
I buy people.
Point to everybody.
Christmas
Hey.
comes around.
I believe everyone in this chat, everyone in this calls us a game once.
Yeah, you bought me a lot of games.
I have 187 games. I've had my Steam library for a while now.
And I have 19 things, not including things that aren't necessarily games.
Hey, Smooth, how's Daikatana?
I have not installed it yet, and I will not install it anytime soon, you dick.
Alrighty, another question sent to us by Colt MX.
Cole?
If you could choose a city in Equestria, where would you live?
City in Equestria.
Yeah.
Well, fuck. I'd probably go live in Canterlot.
Oh, of course. It's not stereotypical at all.
Of my high-class unicorn stature. Ooh.
And high class, shove it up your ass.
High-class, suck a fucking dick there, Commander. Ooh, yeah.
Commander.
But I think, I mean, it's not an actual place that has been in the show or anything, but just based off a lot of ways I've seen it presented, and it's like in the very, 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 very early ideas I have for any backstory for my OC, because I don't have a backstory for my OC, which is awful because I'm on this
I
show.
can give you one.
I don't
Stop.
either.
Stop.
I'll write it for you.
I think that I would live in some place like Hoofington, maybe. I feel that would be like a booming place for science and technology. Not at all influenced by Project Resonance, no. But yeah, Hoofington.
Hoofington.
Maddie?
Touchpad's backstory has him originally from Manhattan because I'm unoriginal and I'm from New York, so Manhattan seemed like the perfect place to start from. And he initially goes to Ponyville.
And Smooth, being a changeling, probably starts out in a changeling hive, but eventually goes to Ponyville to live because Ponyville's just so low maintenance in comparison to everywhere else. And, wind sailing is probably more possible in Ponyville than anywhere else.
So, you all, started with one and said, oh, well, he wants to move to here.
No. Touchpad is forced to move to Ponyville.
My character lives in Ponyville and would probably live better in Canterlot.
And then we have one last question. Sent in to us by Kermid. How much do you guys lift?
Oh, I lift so much, bro.
Do we want to try and give actual numbers to this?
Yeah. Well, it's probably gone down, but I know I did 300 deadlift 310 deadlift back in high school. So it's probably
how much do you lift?
lift
How much
right
did
now?
you lift?
Well, that's what I'm getting to. I'm getting to that point. Right now, I mean, all I do is lift suits now. I mean, which being able to actually pick up the giant boxes of 12, 15 suits at once. I mean, I probably pick up and drop maybe 150 pounds of suits every day. Just kind of, move it around the store. Constantly picking up and taking down suits. Always doing this motion and high and putting things up and off of racks. So I don't think it's the fact that I do large lifting. I think it's more the fact that I do lots of little things. It's a shit ton of reps, not a large high number, So lift, yes, every day. Commander?
It's hard for me to say. When I actually had a class in high school where I would lift stuff, I have no idea what I could deadlift because I never did. I know that at one point in time I was able to bench 135, maybe? That's pushing it, because that's more than how much I weigh. But now, much lower than that. I am I am not in. I'm so far from peak physical condition. I would say I'm not in any good physical condition. I need to start doing some lifting and just general exercising because I'm starting to get a little bit flabby. I mean, I'm skinny enough that like most people would not notice it, but I notice it. So I don't know. Probably not much.
50 minutes. 40s at the beginning of the day, 50 minutes then later in the middle of the day, 40s again, and then 50 minutes at the end of the day, 40s. And I don't have a deadlift set yet, but I will.
Cool. Smooth?
No.
He doesn't work out.
No.
I'm with you there.
Lifting out is gross.
Lifting out.
Getting swole.
Working up, gross.
So, that is the last question. Thank you very much for everybody in the chat for sending in their questions. Remember, if we didn't answer your question today on the live stream, or this live episode here, feel free to send it in to our either Facebook, Tumblr, or whatever, along with other OCs. And Mehdi, do you want to tell the people in the chat where they can find all these wonderful spots?
Well, you can send
us?
everything to us at these. You can send everything to us at these specific sites: eurocsucks.deviantart.com, at eurocsucks at twitter.com, eurocsuckspodcast@gmail.com, and eurocsuckspodcast.tumblr.com.
Fantastic. So,
Pulling a mummified there.
of course, wow, what a shock. So, like I said, this was the last episode of our final big block series of species. Next week we are going to be doing fan submitted again. We're going to be taking a look at any one of the OCs that have been submitted to our show. If you yourself haven't submitted your OC and you're thinking, I would really like to see what their opinions on the show are. Now, next week we're not going to be doing another live stream. We might be doing them more often, or possibly making this a thing. I don't know.
More often than never.
More often than
Yes.
never, of course. But it might be a thing. If this ends up being a hit, or you guys like this format, we might be doing this, we might do that. I don't know. If we end up being able to pull something off like this on a more regular basis, that would actually take a load off Smooth, considering you really don't have to do anything this week, Smooth.
Yeah, it's nice for once.
It's a good vacation.
Except for we're doing this not at the beginning of the week.
Yeah. I don't know. Keep an eye out. Follow us on those links. We'll definitely post it out saying, hey, here's what we're doing. Here's what we're planning on doing. These kind of things are going to be coming down the pipes. If you are all attached to any of our social networking sites today, you probably saw a wave of information coming at you saying, hey, we're going to be doing this today. We're going to be doing this today. You should come on down and do this thing with us because it'll be super fun. And wasn't it fun, guys? I really liked this. I really had a blast with all of you guys. But as all great things, they must come to an end. But make sure to, my apologies, make sure to stick around after this show. We're going to cut it there for a second just to end the actual episode. But remember to stick around for our special giveaway at the end of it all. We've got a great prize to give out to you folks. And make sure to stick around for that. What?
Throwing this in at the very last second, if for the fans paying attention at home, there's also a super secret, not told to the Yoxcast members, a Steam game giveaway from Mehdi. We'll explain that after the show.
Oh my god, you can win a video game, guys!
We'll
That
explain
is so
that
cool.
after the break.
We'll explain that after the break. But, to remind you all who we are, I am Mummified Thunderbirds. This week, I have been joined by
Commander Sparkle.
Mehdi Bobo.
And smooth sailing.
And remember, folks, Euro C sucks.